Dana White recently traveled to Hawaii, where he met with former UFC featherweight champion Max Holloway following one of the most devastating disasters the islands had faced in recent years. This trip was not about planning an upcoming UFC event or scouting locations for a future fight card. Instead, it carried a much deeper purpose. White joined Holloway to witness the progress of housing developments funded by the UFC for victims of the 2023 Maui wildfires. Accompanying them on this visit was Hawaii Governor Josh Green, who personally toured the development site. Governor Green expressed his gratitude to both Holloway and the UFC for their unwavering commitment to helping the people of Maui rebuild. From the very beginning, Holloway played a central role in bringing attention to the crisis. When the wildfires struck in 2023, Holloway immediately used his platform to raise awareness and call for help. The UFC quickly partnered with him to make a formal commitment, launching a series of efforts that have since grown into something truly transformative for the affected families. This week's visit marked a major milestone. Holloway, White, and Governor Green attended the opening celebration of Homemade Hawaii's Land and Home Village, a project built specifically to provide shelter for families devastated by the wildfires. Over the past 2 years, money raised through Holloway's initiatives, combined with the UFC's financial backing, has gone directly toward constructing new homes. The results are remarkable. Across 2 separate sites, more than 800 people have been given safe housing, providing them not just with shelter but with a foundation to rebuild their lives. During the celebration, the atmosphere was filled with gratitude and unity. Governor Green emphasized how meaningful it was to see both Holloway and the UFC remain engaged long after the headlines had faded. Too often, attention disappears once the initial crisis subsides, but this project demonstrated a long-term commitment to real change. Holloway's voice carried immense weight in rallying support at a critical moment, and the UFC's willingness to act amplified that voice to a global scale. For Dana White, this was not about business, fight cards, or ticket sales. His presence in Hawaii was about showing up, standing beside Holloway, and letting the people of Maui know that they had not been forgotten. This was more than just another charitable initiative. It was a true partnership between a hometown hero, the world's largest combat sports promotion, and a resilient community refusing to be defined by tragedy. Thanks to the dedication of Holloway, the continued support of the UFC, and the determination of Maui's people, hundreds of families now have hope for a brighter future. Shifting gears, there's another exciting update for our loyal viewers. We've listened to your feedback and are proud to announce that we've solved the pronunciation issue in our videos. From now on, our brand new narrator will deliver every word with clear and precise pronunciation. We know what our subscribers want, and we're always working hard to improve the quality of our content. If you love this new voice, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more. Finally, in fight news, Reinier de Ridder has provided clarity on the chaotic middleweight title picture. During his recent appearance on the Overdogs podcast with Mike Perry, RDR revealed that although he was originally scheduled to headline UFC Vancouver against Anthony "Fluffy" Hernandez, that bout fell apart when Hernandez withdrew. Now, the Dutch contender is officially set to face Brendan Allen instead, and he's bringing laser focus and determination to this new challenge. Reinier de Ridder has finally spoken out on the chaotic middleweight picture, offering insight not only into his next fight but also into what he believes is the key to solving one of the division's biggest challenges, Khamzat Chimaev. Speaking on the Overdogs podcast with Mike Perry, the Dutch contender shared his perspective on Chimaev's fighting style. According to de Ridder, the number one rule when facing Khamzat is simple: never allow him to take your back. Once that happens, he explained, the fight can spiral downhill very quickly. Instead of adopting a purely defensive stance and waiting for Khamzat to initiate a takedown, de Ridder believes the smarter strategy is to threaten with takedowns of your own. His reasoning is straightforward. If Chimaev's top game is dangerous, then the best counter is to put him on the defensive and force him to grapple from less dominant positions. In de Ridder's view, that is the real path to success against the undefeated star. Still, while Chimaev looms as the ultimate goal, de Ridder was clear about his immediate priorities. His focus now rests squarely on Brendan Allen. For the Dutchman, this fight is more than just another test. It's an opportunity to do something that few others have managed in recent memory. Not only does he intend to beat Allen, but he also wants to finish him, sending a statement to the rest of the division. De Ridder emphasized that his goal is to separate himself from the pack by achieving what others, including top contenders like Anthony, Fluffy, Hernandez and Nassourdine Imavov, could not, putting Allen away. The conversation also turned to Paulo Costa, whom De Ridder openly criticized. According to him, Costa was originally approached for the UFC Vancouver headliner but turned down the fight, insisting on a 3-round contest instead of a 5-round main event. De Ridder didn't mince words, calling it a golden opportunity that Costa let slip through his hands. For De Ridder, the willingness to step into a 5-round battle is what defines true contenders, and he felt Costa's refusal showed a lack of readiness to seize the moment. Part of De Ridder's urgency to remain on the Vancouver card came from his desire to line himself up for a potential fight with Chimaev. With Ramadan scheduled in February, De Ridder noted there could be an opening for Chimaev to compete in January, and he wanted to be in position for that matchup. The UFC initially considered rescheduling his bout with Hernandez for a later date, but concerns about Hernandez's availability left the matchup in doubt. Refusing to let his momentum stall, De Ridder pushed to secure a new opponent, and that decision led to Brendan Allen stepping into the spotlight. Looking ahead, De Ridder acknowledges that Allen poses a difficult but beatable challenge. He highlighted how Hernandez and Imavov both struggled against Allen, with Brendan nearly finishing Hernandez late in their fight. Neither man was able to put Allen away, but De Ridder is convinced he can be the one to break that pattern. In his mind, a dominant finish over Allen won't just add another win to his record. It will set him apart from the rest of the division and place him directly on a collision course with the man he truly wants to face, Khamzat Chimaev. Nathaniel Murphy has been making headlines once again, this time in connection with Alexander Volkanovski's recent comments that stirred speculation about whether the two will actually meet inside the Octagon this year. Murphy, still riding the wave of momentum from his spectacular August performance, has quickly become one of the brightest rising stars in the UFC. His jaw-dropping spinning back elbow finish against Aaron Pico didn't just electrify fans. It cemented him as a dangerous contender with the kind of highlight reel power that captures attention across the MMA world. That finish, paired with his still perfect record inside the Octagon, instantly put Murphy on the radar of the former featherweight champion. Volkanovski himself acknowledged the Englishman's surge, going so far as to call for a fight with him. On paper, the matchup makes perfect sense. Volkanovski, looking to re-establish himself after losing his title, would get the chance to test himself against an undefeated rising star. Meanwhile, Murphy would have the opportunity to catapult himself into superstardom with a victory over one of the most respected names in the division. But despite the clear intrigue surrounding the fight, Volkanovski recently cast doubt on whether it will happen this year. During an interview on Submission Radio, the Australian admitted he wasn't certain the bout could be finalized in time, hinting that there might be obstacles behind the scenes. His words quickly spread across social media, igniting speculation and debate among fans about whether the UFC would follow through on what seemed like a natural matchup. Murphy, however, wasted no time in responding. Taking to X, he clarified that Volkanovski never outright rejected the fight and suggested the issue might simply come down to scheduling. "I will be ready whenever. Let's wait and see. The spanner isn't me. I will fight him tomorrow," Murphy posted, making it clear he has no hesitation and is willing to step into the cage at a moment's notice. He didn't stop there. The undefeated contender leaned further into his confidence, acknowledging that he understands exactly how risky he is as an opponent. "I am a very risky last fight," Murphy wrote, signaling that he knows fighters may think twice before agreeing to face him. He added that some competitors might now avoid him, like the plague, recognizing that he has fully realized his potential as a dangerous, well-rounded threat. The conviction in Murphy's words revealed more than just bravado. It showcased the mindset of a fighter who truly believes he is destined for the top of the division. For Volkanovski, Murphy represents both a major challenge and an opportunity to prove that he remains at the elite level. For Murphy, the bout offers the perfect platform to validate the hype and prove that his knockout of Pico was not a one-off highlight, but the beginning of a new era. With the UFC calendar for 2025 filling up quickly, the clock is ticking. October is around the corner, and if the promotion wants to capitalize on the growing buzz between these two, booking the matchup sooner rather than later would be the ideal move. Until then, Murphy is keeping himself prepared and reminding the world that he will not be the reason this fight doesn't happen. The ball, it seems, is in the UFC's court, and perhaps in Volkanovski's as well. Paddy Pimblett continues to generate headlines in the MMA world, drawing comparisons to Conor McGregor for his outspoken personality and promotional flair. Since arriving in the UFC as a former Cage Warriors champion, Pimblett has captivated fans with his brash confidence, unfiltered trash talk, and unapologetic charisma. While it remains uncertain if he will ever replicate McGregor's historic accomplishments inside the Octagon, Pimblett has already carved out his own space as one of the sport's most entertaining figures. One rivalry that has intensified his spotlight is with UFC lightweight champion Ilia Topuria. Following Topuria's title win, Pimblett wasted no time staking his claim for a potential matchup. He openly dismissed Topuria's reign as champion and boldly proposed to face him in enemy territory at Madrid's iconic Santiago Bernabéu Stadium. This audacious challenge, delivered with unshakable confidence, quickly gained traction among fans and analysts alike. MMA legend Chael Sonnen recently praised Pimblett's promotional rise on his show, Good Guy, Bad Guy, alongside Daniel Cormier. Sonnen highlighted the Englishman's ability to stir excitement, noting that Pimblett had elevated the art of trash talk to new levels by not only calling out Topuria but also bringing the entire country of Spain into the rivalry. According to Sonnen, Pimblett's sharp tongue and fearless delivery position him as one of the sport's brightest stars on the microphone. Sonnen even went so far as to suggest that Pimblett could rival McGregor's presence when it comes to captivating an audience, remarking that it would be a close contest if both were active simultaneously. Pimblett's rise demonstrates that trash talk in MMA is more than just trading insults. It's a calculated blend of confidence, timing, and showmanship designed to capture the public's imagination. By targeting Topuria so directly and publicly, he has positioned himself not just as a fighter vying for gold, but also as a master promoter who understands how to keep fans invested in his journey. His charisma, combined with increasingly strong in-cage performances, has made him a standout in the UFC's featherweight and lightweight scenes. The prospect of Pimblett versus Topuria has now become one of the most intriguing potential matchups in the UFC's 2025 schedule. Fans are eager to see whether Pimblett can back up his words inside the cage and turn his war of promotion into a legitimate title run. Should he succeed, it would cement his reputation as both a star fighter and one of the most compelling personalities in the sport today. Meanwhile, another familiar name continues to make headlines: Conor McGregor. The former two-division champion has once again insisted that he is set to make his long-awaited return at the UFC's historic White House card scheduled for next year. McGregor's statement adds yet another layer of intrigue to the UFC's 2025 calendar, which is already shaping up to deliver some of the most anticipated moments in recent MMA history. During a recent visit to Cruz MMA in Nutley, New Jersey, the gym run by Alex Pereira's head coach, Plinio Cruz, former UFC middleweight champion Sean Strickland once again found himself at the center of conversation. While taking part in a class at the gym, Strickland engaged in an impromptu sparring session with a young student. The pairing was clearly uneven in terms of age, size, and experience, yet Strickland approached the exchange seriously, giving the student both a physical challenge and valuable hands-on lessons. At one point, Strickland landed a firm kick to the student's body, knocking the wind out of him. Sensing the impact, Strickland immediately reassured the youngster, telling him, "Don't make your nose, please. That was fast. That wasn't hard, I promise." His tone balanced encouragement with control, making it clear that he wanted the student to recover and keep going. He repeatedly urged him to get up, adding, "Come on. You can do it. We're a team." Strickland even playfully suggested he might try landing the kick in the same spot again, but it was framed more as motivation than intimidation. Throughout the session, Strickland's coaching side came through. He pushed the student to focus on technique while emphasizing composure, offering short, sharp pieces of instruction. "Come on, pushy. Where's it at? You don't want to shoot. There you go. Get after him. Be nice. Hold my side." Even as he sparred with intensity, Strickland maintained control, showing the importance of balance between pressure and learning. The message was clear: real skill in combat sports requires more than power. It demands awareness, discipline, and the ability to stay calm in live situations. The footage of the exchange quickly made its way online, sparking a wave of mixed reactions from MMA fans. Critics argued that the sparring session was inappropriate, pointing to the glaring gap in experience and accusing Strickland of enjoying the mismatch. One fan harshly commented that Strickland's behavior mirrored the same treatment he once criticized in his upbringing, calling it all marketing, and suggesting he was taking out personal frustrations on the student. Others, however, defended Strickland's approach. Supporters pointed out the unique value of learning directly from a professional fighter in real time. Kids getting to train with a pro and being taught by experience to tuck your elbow is 100% more efficient than just being told to do it, one fan noted, arguing that the kick served as an eye-opening lesson the student would never forget. Another added humor, saying, "Now tell him to do that to Khamzat in a sparring match, LMAO." He is always being Sean Strickland against streamers and kids. Despite the online divide, Strickland's session demonstrated how combat sports can blend intensity with mentorship. His willingness to engage with the student, even with controlled strikes, offered a powerful real-world lesson in resilience. For the young fighter, it was not just about taking a hit. It was about learning how to respond, adjust, and keep going. In the end, the moment left an impression that went far beyond technique. Strickland managed to give the student a taste of the physicality and mental toughness required in MMA while keeping the environment under control. Whether praised or criticized, his actions highlighted the fine line between tough coaching and controversy, showing once again why Sean Strickland remains one of the sport's most talked about personalities.